anti-aging product, sort of a generic label, might not be the best product for you and what's going on in our skin then.
It drives me mad, actually, that sort of term. And then the shops you'll see for over 40s, this for over 50s, and you just think, no, whatever product you put on your face has no idea how old you are.
Welcome to Transform Your Menopause with Essex Menopause Coach, the go-to podcast for anyone struggling from peri to post-menopause. If you're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, or anxious, this is the place for you. Hosted by me, Julie, an award-winning coach who's been in your shoes, this podcast offers real understanding and practical help. I'll tackle menopause head-on with clear, no-nonsense guidance that makes a real difference. So whether you need support, tips, or just a friendly voice, I'm here to help you navigate menopause and rediscover your best self.
Welcome to Transform Your Menopause with me, Julie, and today's expert guest, Amy from Amy Cox Face and Body. Welcome, Amy.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So I've been really looking forward to recording this with you.
That's very nice to hear.
Yeah, I think that skincare around menopause is a priority for a lot of women around this time of life. So for me, it was probably one of the first things that I saw changing. I'm really looking forward to getting your insights and your expertise in all of this, because there's a lot of information out there on old Dr. Google. So getting it from the horse's mouth will be quite it's even worse. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Okay, so before we start, let me tell you a little bit about Amy. So Amy has always believed that skincare is more than just lotions and potions. It's about understanding each unique face, embracing quirks, and unlocking the confidence that lies within. She has a 20-year clinical background as a physiotherapist and is working towards her level 7 qualification in aesthetic practice. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it.
This whole clinic is built around science and understanding the anatomy of the face and skin. And her secret weapon is a good consultation, always.
Yeah.
Really listening and understanding what your concerns and goals are, which help her put together a treatment package that is designed around you. When can I book it? It's going to be like okay, so also, actually, before we dive in, if you listen to the end, there'll be a code for you to get a 10% discount off a first appointment with Amy. So make sure you listen to the end. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you first. How do you go from being physiotherapist to skin expert?
That's an interesting one, because it's a bit of a different journey to what a lot of people do. A lot of people either are a skin expert first, or they're a nurse that go into skincare. I think for me, I've always been into skincare. Grandma's fault. She loved skincare. She loved everything to do with beauty and anything like that.
You do have lovely skin.
Famous story, when I was about 5-year-old, I got lost in Phoenix and she found me beauty care. So I've done a bit of a bit of a family tale. So yeah, it was destined from the start. So physio I love, because I love helping people to feel better, helping them to feel better about themselves and their mood. And I worked a lot when I was a physio post-operatively. I worked a lot with ladies who'd had breast reconstructive surgery, so I've done a lot of scar work. So I already had, albeit not on the face, a real interest in scarring and how it is the body in other areas. So it was during the pandemic, and I was working in the hospital, and we wear masks all the time, and my normally really good skin was not very happy at all. And I ended up developing loads of like milia along here where the masks were, and just really congested. So I switched up my skincare routine, and I started reading into it a little bit more, so I'm more into it. And then I decided, after goodness knows how many years of clinical management and working in a hospital, that I didn't want to do that anymore. So,
and how old was you then when you did that?
About 37.
So again, that kind of career change like thing is quite common, isn't it? About kind of in your time of life.
Yeah.
Kind of find what excites you, don't you? Your passion.
You do, and that's where at midlife crisis came from with my Instagram handle, because then, rather than being like some people we know buying a Porsche, when you have a bit of a midlife crisis, I decided I was going to change my career, but for the better. But actually, what I managed to do is, I thought I was going to leave one and start another. I've actually managed to balance them.
It's got nice, that's both, isn't it? And clearly, from what you were saying earlier about your physio work, there's a lot of overlap.
Massive, huge.
And it probably helps with trust as well between you and your clients, having that kind of clinical background.
It doesn't. I've spent the last 20 years listening to people what they need and pretty much making people do things that they don't really want to do. So my levels of persuasion are rather good.
But an empathetic ear as well, because I think when people come to see you, they're probably not feeling their best,
Yeah.
not their most confident with their skin. And I think particularly when we're talking about the face, it's the thing that people see first and notice
It is.
most.
I think having somebody who's got a bit of a medical background, when you have got underlying conditions going on, whether it be hormonal or lots of different things, then it does help having somebody who understands the drugs, understands
Yeah,
what you might be feeling, and understands the process.
So what sort of changes do you see then around about the time of menopause in sort of the face skincare? 'Cause we know the face shape can change, can't it?
Yeah.
The jaw tends to recede a bit.
Yeah, one of the big things is loss of volume. So we lose collagen, which is a bit like your building blocks of your skin. So we lose collagen and we lose elastin, which is the stuff that makes things nice and stretchy. So unfortunately, things get less volume, so they look a bit more hollow, and then they're not as stretchy, so it doesn't bounce back as well as it was. Think about an elastic band when you get it out, it doesn't retract quite as well as it does. So they're the main things that happen with aging. That's natural, and then you couple that with the environments that we work in. So when you live somewhere rural with better air quality, you're not going to be exposed to as many the nasties in the environment. Whereas if you're traveling into somewhere like London every day,
Yeah, you can smell all that.
all that pollution on your skin, it impacts it. Your sun, how much you've been in the sun.
Yeah. Smoking, all the usual suspects. Yeah, we don't really want to think about.
I mean, I think that the young ones now are actually brilliant with their SPF and things like that. It's come up.
I was about to say that. That's probably one of my biggest regrets. I didn't know about it when we were younger, to put on like SPF like all year.
The cheapest anti-aging product you can ever use is SPF 320s.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I thought that's a really important quote.
Yeah, that is a good one. Anything else specifically menopause skin you want to talk about?
So I think a lot of people talk about how their skin dries out, and that's not usual. Estrogen levels can change and it can cause dryness, but similarly on the flip side, I see people get more oily.
Yeah.
So I think it's less about what the actual change is being linked to menopause and just about the fact that it's a change for you, different for you, what you know, therefore what can we do to put you through it.
So anti-aging products necessarily
Not my
not
favourite term.
Yeah, it's not a nice term.
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
More in for like pro-aging.
Yeah.
Those sort of a generic label might not be the best product for you and what's going on in your skin then.
It drives me mad actually, that sort of term. And then my favourite, in some of the shops you'll see for over 40s, this for over 50s, and you just think, no, whatever product you put on your face has no idea how old you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how old you are. All it knows is this is a product, it's got these ingredients in it, and these ingredients are designed to do this one thing.
Yeah.
So
it's what does your skin actually need?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's where your consultation comes in. That's where it's key to understand what's going on for that person, because you can have a skin type, which is what you're born with, if you're oily, you're dry, your combination, and you can have a skin condition. Your skin type doesn't necessarily change throughout your life, but your skin condition can. So you might have always had oily skin, all of a sudden you've got dry patches. Might have always had like combination skin, and all of a sudden you've got a really oily T-zone. And that's what can happen. Those hormonal changes and fluctuations.
So as you say, that's where the beauty and power of a consultation comes in, doesn't it? And having that expert eye cast over.
It is, and it's a shame because obviously the mainstream media and the social medias of the world, you see all of this stuff is thrown at you anti-aging. They clock on that you're in your 40s and all of a sudden your whole feed is full of things that aren't necessarily the right thing for you.
Well, Pinterest seems to think that I'm in my 50s.
That's already. Then I'm very careful words about that.
All right then. So we've had a few questions.
Yes.
Then it kind of leads on nicely from what you were saying. Then what can be done about adult acne was one of them.
Not that uncommon, adult acne. But a lot of girls come into me. It can happen in your 20s. It can happen in your 30s. It's to do with the amount of oil production in your skin. So if the level of oil production changes, then you're potentially going to end up with acne. It can be done without. Again, it depends on the why. Why is it happening? What's going on? So it's your actual change in your skin structure, more oily or less oily. It can be to do with the changes in the oil level in your skin. It can be hormonal. It can be stress related, because we all know stress hormones.
Stress is like hugely. Yeah, I talk about like all of the time.
The environment you're in, Sometimes it can be kicked off by products that you started using. That's something's not happy, and your skin barrier, which is that top protective layer of the skin, gets really angry, and all of a sudden a lot of bacteria sort of gets in there. So there can be lots of different reasons. And again, that is why that comes down to that consultation process.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like from the other side, the flip side of it. So like hormone changes, it's like the same thing, isn't it? HRT helps to balance that in some women, it doesn't in others.
Yes.
And then you've got like the real kind of fundamentals, the basics like sugar. How that like alcohol, how much that impacts like the skin.
Yeah. I had this is one of my clients once, and she's been really good. We did a big transformation with her acne, and she cut out dairy, because dairy sort of cheese is one of the big ones. She cut out the chocolate. She'd done so well, and she came to me. She'd had a breakout, and she was like, "I said, well, what have you done? Where have you been?" She said, "I've been out on the weekend." I said, well, "What have you drunk?" She said, "I've only had wine," and I was like, "Yeah, sugar,
See,
wine."
I have rosacea. Not that bad. You wouldn't really notice it so much now. Not unless you're a skincare expert sitting this close on me. You know, anything in my past I've never sound on that. That for me is alcohol, my sugar. So, like little pimples come out. But times you have to like make that choice. I sit on that rosacea scale, but for me now, and it's something I've developed through like health conditions and over years, is that I have a bit of an allergy to certain colourings. Alcohol, not in foods. There's obviously like, so anything that's fruity, so you know, like a fruity cider, pink, I will literally flush from my chest right up to my hairline. But it's knowing what it is, isn't it? Because then you make that choice. Yeah. I know, well, now we have that one, because I'm not going to have a photo done. Yeah, but we had that. I was just standing up in my restaurant with snakes up on your neck and just feel, it's fairness coming up from sort of my chest up, and I think, that also for me as well is when I know that my hormones are on a little bit of a fluctuation, because I'm pretty stable most of the time. And if I do get a flush when I've had a drink or something like that, then I think, oh, I'm on a little bit of a little bit showing and not quite ready to cook. As well as you would normally. It's interesting. But yeah, rosacea is a really tricky one. Really tricky one. Probably one of the hardest ones to manage. And actually, I was just thinking about connect with that acne one as well, because some GPs might be looking to prescribe maybe like a low dose antibiotic. That's a real tricky field, because you can actually get people call it acne rosacea, but you papular rosacea, and it's rosacea but with the acne pimples. So if you try and treat that like you would acne, you're actually going to end up making it worse. So it's a real tricky one. And I'm not mega keen on that either from the perspective of gut health, because we know how gut health is interlinked with everything. You need to like keep down for when they're exactly you need. Exactly. To be able to treat those kind of skin complaints, I think with this kind of treatments that you're talking about, and getting the basics of your diet and drinking enough water and all of those kind of things. And really nice. It's also knowing the limitations of what I can do. So it's like, we will try this, but if someone comes to me and I think actually this needs to be seen by a dermatologist and it needs medication, then that's what we'll do. Because there are times when that is completely appropriate, but it's got to be. But that's the mark of a good clinician or practitioner, isn't it? I was having that conversation with someone earlier today. That actually sometimes when you're approached by people, I know I did. I say, well, actually, no, I'm not best placed. And sometimes I say no more than I say yes, because I want people to get better, and I'm not that person to get them better. Yeah, you want to be able to do a good job. But 9 times out of 10, I know somebody who can help us. I know I've got a good little black book of a convalescent go-to. Yeah, skin to broken ankles. Nothing else. That's the one. All right then. So we've got 2 other questions, but we were saying that they're quite similar. Overlapping their answer. So I'll tell you what both the questions were. So it was, I feel like I need to think about collagen, but I have no idea where to start. Yeah. And then the other one was, why is it that as we age, our skin becomes duller, and is there anything to tackle it? So one of the reasons it becomes duller is because we do lose collagen and we do lose elastin, and we use that fancy youth of our face. There are things we can do to help that, depending on where you want to go with it. There's lots of different options, and not something I'm looking for every option now, but it's something that you would discuss a consultation. But generally, the loss of that collagen, the loss of that elastin, the damage from the sun, the environment, all of those things over the years take their toll. So it looks duller, or it looks more dull. Collagen is really important. It's like I said before, it's like the building blocks of our skin. And if we can regenerate and get this collagen levels a bit higher in the skin, then we'll winner. So which brings me on to my diet, which is collagen drinks. Not a fan of. No, not a fan. But don't get me wrong as well. I don't just
look at these ideas out there. I've actually tried loads. I've tried cheap ones, expensive ones, and they've made no difference. And when you look at the science behind it, it doesn't really work. You can't, I'm like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, collagen, it's all about collagen. But they cannot ingest collagen and expect it to help our skin. In the same way, we can't put a moisturizer cream on that's apparently got collagen in it. Help it, think it's going to help our skin have more collagen in it. Firstly, the collagen molecules far too big to get through that top layer of the skin. So what you've probably got is a really nice moisturizer. And if you're
Very expensive one.
but if it works for you and you like it and it does the job, then fine, but it's not getting collagen into your skin. Only way to stimulate collagen is to stimulate the cells that produce it, and they're called fibroblast cells, and they sit in your skin. And there are a few ways we can do that. One of the main ones, and probably my favourite, is through microneedling.
Oh, okay.
So we stimulate the skin and we stimulate fibroblast cells, and that encourages collagen production.
Okay.
So microneedling. Another one we can use is radio frequency, and again stimulates the same skin cells. And they're sort of more advanced skin treatments is what I'd call them.
Okay.
So they're a little bit invasive, but they're not injectable treatments. And then the next step up would be like skin boosters, polynucleotides, those type of treatments like Profilo.
Okay.
70 high, those kind of things. They're actually biostimulators, so they're designed to hydrate your skin like an injectable moisturizer, but they'll also stimulate collagen production. So the only way we're going to get collagen into our skin is by doing something to it.
Yeah, it's like with the whole supplement side of it, the collagen. It's like your body is not, it's going to use it where it needs it first.
It is.
People think they're having a supplement that is collagen.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's essentially protein. Your body needs protein for all these other things.
Yeah, exactly. Skin is although the skin's your biggest organ, it's the least priority when it comes to things like that.
So hair, people ask me about hair.
It's like water. Everyone says, oh, if you've got problem with your skin, drink more water. Drinking water on its own is not going to fix your skin. Now, if your whole body's more hydrated, you're healthier, that's going to help. But you're not going to fix a skin problem by simply drinking water, because that water is going to be taken everywhere else in the body first before it gets to your skin. So I think we have to be realistic. But again, a lot of it comes down to how this stuff's marketed. It's really cleverly done.
There was listening to a podcast, it was ages ago actually. I'm trying to think which one it was. Actually, probably better off not naming the brand. It was a very popular brand, like collagen supplement, and the statistics that they use in their product isn't even about their own product. It's about a particular ingredient.
Yeah,
their product.
It's at the Wild West out there when it comes to advertising something. So it really is. But it's like anything. The only supplements really that have got a lot of sort of evidence and research behind them for skin is some of the supplements for gut health in relation to acne. But that's because we know the inflammatory process of acne has a lot to do with gut health, and we've talked about that, and so there's that. But at the same time, a lot of skin specialists will offer different supplements, and they'll have that they will advise on things. For me, outside of the general diet stuff, I think that sits outside of my field. There's a reason why dietitians have a degree. There's a reason why they're good at what they do, and there's a reason why they do the training they do. So I think stimulating, leave that to them. And this is what I mean. I can find you those people to go and talk to. That's not a problem. And in some cases, it's really appropriate. But you've got to know your lane.
Definitely. I think that's bringing us right to our end. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What about your own products?
Yes, I have some of my own Speed hair products. What I wanted really was a really nice basic range, so that's what I've done. I think when it comes to active skincare, so things like retinols and sort of the stuff that's really going to make skin changes, and we leave it to the big brands who've got all the scientific research and the pharmacists. But when it comes to nice simple skincare like a moisturizer, a cleanser, an oil, I've got some nice basic options.
And I suppose that is probably what most people need, isn't it? A decent
and that's
skincare regime.
And that's where I start most people, because it's habit, and you know all about habits. You've just got to get yourself into the habit of doing it. Find the time to do it. And it's the big thing I say to people is it's not vanity, it's self-care. It's looking after yourself.
So what's the important things then? What do people need to be doing every morning, every night then?
If you don't need anything else, you need to cleanse your face. So basically you need to wash it. At least in the morning, at least at the night. And when you're out and about in the daytime, you need to wear an SPF. If you do nothing else, do those two things for me.
Nice. That's a nice way to end it then.
There you go.
Leave it there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy. So here we have it. So much valuable information there for us to take away and put into action. If you want to see Amy or learn more about Amy, you can find her on Instagram as Midlife Crisis. If you want an appointment, she's based in Braintree, so you can go see her there.
I've got a big car park.
There you go. Park is not a problem. For listening to the end, you get a bonus, so you can get 10% off a first appointment with her. Just when you're booking, just make sure you mention Essex Menopause Coach, and then that's it. So as always, I'll put all the links that you need into the description box at the end. Your feedback, so leave any comments. If you enjoyed this episode and never want to miss another one, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you very much.